I stared at my phone screen, reading Daniel's message. I'm leaving you for Sofia. She's 23, beautiful, and everything you're not. Don't bother coming home, she's already moved in. The afternoon sun cast long shadows across my desk as I calmly reached for my coffee. At 35, I had just received the most heartless goodbye ever. But while Daniel probably pictured me crying over his betrayal, I was logging into my security app. The hidden cameras I'd installed 2 months ago came to life. There they were, Daniel and his new girlfriend, making themselves at home in my living room. She lounged in my favorite chair, legs draped over the side, while he packed away my photos. Your wife has great taste in furniture, Sofia giggled, running her fingers over the fabric. Too bad she has terrible taste in men. Daniel chuckled, tossing a photo frame into a box. She never appreciated any of this. Always too busy working, too tired for date nights. You're different, baby. I watched them, my anger cold and steady. The cameras had captured everything for weeks, every lie, every secret meeting. But today's footage, this was the final nail in his coffin. Another text buzzed through. I'll have my lawyer contact you. Don't expect anything in the divorce, my name's on everything. You should thank me for the years I gave you. I smiled, sipping my now cold coffee. Daniel always thought I was naive. He had no idea I'd been ahead of him all along. I had noticed the signs, the late nights, the password changes, the sudden interest in the gym. But it was the dinner receipt for two, on a night he claimed to be working, that pushed me to act. I hired a security company the next day. Make them invisible, I told them as they installed cameras throughout the house. I want to see everything. And I did. I watched him sneak her in, heard their whispered plans, saw them betray me over and over again. Then another message popped up. A picture of Sofia on our bed, wearing my jewelry. She looks better in these than you ever did, Daniel wrote. I forwarded it to my lawyer, adding it to the growing file of evidence. Then I turned back to the live feed. She's not even that pretty, Sofia scoffed, flipping through my old photos. Daniel snorted, holding up our wedding picture. I was young and stupid. Thought I needed to settle down. Biggest mistake of my life. He tossed it into the trash along with everything else from our 10 years together. But I didn't feel pain, just satisfaction. Every cruel word, every smug smile, all of it was recorded. Sofia stretched out on the couch. Should we order dinner? We should celebrate our first night in our new home. Our new home. I smiled at her choice of words. They had no idea how wrong they were. The house had been my grandmother's, left to me in a trust Daniel knew nothing about. His name on the deed meant nothing, and soon he would learn that the hard way. I typed a reply to his earlier message. Thanks for letting me know. I'll be sure to forward your text to my lawyer. His response was instant. What lawyer? Don't try to play games, Olivia. You'll lose everything. I didn't bother replying. Instead, I sent the latest footage to my attorney. This is perfect, she had told me weeks ago. He won't know what hit him. I grabbed my things and walked out of my office. The real fun was about to begin. As I drove away, my phone buzzed one last time. Don't bother coming home. I changed the locks. I laughed, picturing the hidden cameras still rolling. Let him think he'd won. Let him enjoy his moment. Soon, the truth would hit him like a ton of bricks. And I'd have a front row seat to watch it all unfold. The next morning, I watched through the security feed as Daniel strolled into the kitchen, making coffee in my favorite mug. He looked so at ease, so confident. I took a sip of my hotel coffee waiting. Right on time, the doorbell rang. I zoomed in on his face as he opened the door to a courier. Daniel Parker? The man asked, handing him a thick envelope. Daniel signed, still smug, until he read the first page. His expression shifted from confusion to shock. What is it, baby? Sofia called from the kitchen, still draped in my silk robe. It's from Olivia's lawyer, he mumbled, flipping through the pages. His face paled. This can't be right. Sofia peered over his shoulder. What's wrong? The house. It's not mine. It's in a trust, Olivia's trust. And she has evidence. Sofia stiffened. Evidence of what? Right then, my phone buzzed. A message from Daniel. What kind of game are you playing? I replied, no game. Check your email. Through the cameras, I watched his hands shake as he opened it. Sarah had sent a short clip, a preview of the footage we had collected. Is that us? Sofia gasped, staring at the screen. Have we been recorded? Daniel turned red with anger. You've been spying on me? In my own house? I couldn't help but smile as I texted back. not your house, remember? And yes, every word, every lie, every betrayal, it's all on camera. He started pacing, raking his hands through his hair. Sofia, once so confident, slumped onto the couch. She can't do this, she whispered. It's illegal or something, right? Actually, I typed, it's perfectly legal to have security cameras in my home, especially when I had reason to suspect theft. Daniel read the message out loud. Theft. The jewelry you gave her, the artwork, my grandmother's antiques that mysteriously vanished, all recorded. Sofia yanked off my necklace, setting it on the table with shaking hands. Daniel turned to her, his voice cold. I think you should leave. But you said. Get out, he snapped. Tears streamed down her face as she grabbed her things and rushed out. The fearless mistress, suddenly just a scared girl. Daniel sank onto the couch, staring at his phone. Another message came through. You ruined everything. I loved you, Olivia. Why did you have to do this? My anger flared. Loved me? Is that what you call moving your girlfriend into our home? Giving her my things? Mocking our marriage? I saw him read my message, his jaw tightening. He was trapped and he knew it. What do you want? He finally texted. You out of my house tonight. Take only your things. My lawyer will handle the rest. He sat there for a long moment, then started packing, his movements stiff with frustration. Every few minutes he would stop, glance around the room, then keep going, shoulders slumped. A new text from Sarah. He called his lawyer. They're advising him to settle. The footage is too damaging. I smiled. Daniel had always thought I was weak, that I wouldn't fight back. Instead, I had collected every piece of evidence while he blindly walked into his own downfall. By evening, he took one last look around the house before leaving, his key resting on the counter, a silent admission of defeat. As his card disappeared, I sent one final message. Goodbye, Daniel. I hoped she was worth it. Then I blocked his number, closed the security app, and poured myself a glass of wine. Tomorrow, I take back my home. But tonight, I celebrated my freedom. Game over. And he never even knew he was playing. 1 month later, I sat in my freshly redecorated living room. Every trace of Daniel was gone, along with the weight of his betrayal. The divorce had gone quickly. Amazing how cooperative a cheating husband becomes when faced with video proof of his lies and stolen things. I kept the cameras running until everything was final, just in case. They caught Daniel sneaking back in one night, my lawyer handled it, and Sofia showing up a week later, demanding jewelry Daniel had given her. That footage also went straight to the authorities. My phone buzzed. A text from Sarah. Daniel's company found out he was sleeping with an intern. Turns out you weren't the only one he lied to. He's been forced to resign. I smiled, not out of revenge, but because it felt right. The truth always catches up. That afternoon, the security company came to remove the cameras. As one of the workers uninstalled a hidden bookshelf camera, he said, "We set these up all the time, but most people don't actually catch anything important. You were smart. You saw the signs and acted." I thought back to those first red flags, the late nights, the secretive behavior, the strange receipts. How many people ignored those signs, hoping they were wrong? The doorbell rang. I glanced at my new standard security camera and saw Lisa standing there with a bottle of wine. Coming, I called, letting her in. This place looks amazing, she said, admiring the changes. Gone were the heavy curtains Daniel had insisted on. Sunlight streamed through the sheer panels, shining on artwork I had picked myself. My grandmother's antiques, which I hid away when I first suspected Daniel's plans, were finally back where they belonged. As we sat on the couch with our wine, Lisa asked, "How are you really?" I thought for a moment before answering. Honestly, better than I've been in years. No more pretending. No more ignoring the obvious or making excuses for someone else's actions. Heard anything from Sofia? I shook my head. After the jewelry thing, nothing. She's probably found another married man to go after. Just then, another text from Sarah came through. Final paperwork is signed. The house is officially yours. Congrats. You're free. Free, a simple word, but it carried so much weight. You know what's funny? I said, swirling my wine. Daniel always treated me like I was clueless, like I couldn't see what was happening. But I saw everything. I was just waiting for the right time to act. Lisa raised her glass. To seeing clearly. To seeing clearly, I echoed, clinking my glass against hers. That night, after Lisa left, I walked through my house, truly mine now. The cameras had recorded Daniel's betrayal, but they had also captured something else: my strength. I opened my laptop to save the final footage before deleting it, not to relive the pain, but to remember how far I had come. The last clip showed Daniel leaving, his shoulders slumped, his arrogance finally gone. He thought he was writing the end of our story. He didn't realize he was just setting the stage for my new beginning. Then, one final text, an unknown number. "I'm sorry. I know it doesn't matter now, but I'm sorry for everything." I didn't answer. Some messages don't deserve replies. Some apologies come too late to mean anything. Instead, I stepped onto my balcony, watching the sunset paint the sky in golds and pinks. The cameras were gone, their job done. They had shown me the truth, and they had helped me move forward. The evening air carried the scent of the flowers I had planted, new life growing where the past had once been. Just like me. Tomorrow would bring new adventures, new possibilities. But tonight, I celebrated my freedom.